The decision that he made on Sunday was about putting country first, was about his party, and
you
was
guys
about the
shoved
American
him
people.
out the window.
Again, how are you doing? Are you
I'm
good?
doing okay, thank you.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, you guys haven't had a press briefing since President Biden dropped out of the race. So.
Biden, who returned to the White House on Tuesday, is drafting his highly anticipated address. I think people are anticipating it because they think he's going to leave, but it doesn't sound like it. Karine makes her awkward return to the press briefing room. She has to come back and explain to everybody why she had just told us Joe Biden's not going anywhere. Whether we like it or not, America, he's the best president you've ever had. Then she says, actually, he's leaving now. I love Kamala because Kamala's better. And the Democrats and their insanity continues on. So we're going to jump into this press briefing because there were a bunch of concerned journos in the room, and Doocey comes up and asks Karine how she's even doing. We'll come back to Doocey, but let's start out right out of the gate. She finishes her opening statement. AP comes out with the question. Here's what it sounds like.
The president believes that it's best for the country that he not be in the Oval Office for another 4 years. How can you assure the American people that he's up to be in the office for the next 6 months?
First, I would say, and I've heard these suggestions out there, this is not an answer to you, this is an answer to the suggestions that I've heard about him resigning from office. We believe, and any suggestion of that note is ridiculous. It is not what we believe.
So he's sticking around.
I just laid out what the president has been able to do in almost 4 years, and it's been successful. He's been able to do more, again, than any president has been able to do in 2 terms. He's been able to do that more in 1 term. And he wants to finish the job that he started and delivering more historic results for the American people. And look, he didn't step down from campaigning or from running because he didn't believe he can serve in a 2nd term. That is not why. And what I would say, as I just finished my opening, I would say tune in.
Then why?
Tune into what he has to say tonight, and he will lay that out for you all and the American people.
So he's speaking soon enough.
Why he made that decision.
You're saying he believes that he's capable of serving another 4 years, but he just doesn't believe that he can win another 4 years?
I will let the president speak for himself.
So today, the president believes that he is capable, fully capable of serving in the office that he currently has now and for the next 4.5 years if he wanted to.
Absolutely. And let me just quote from what he said on Sunday in his letter. He said, "It is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." And what the decision that he made on Sunday was about putting country first, was about his party, and
you
was
guys
about the
shoved
American
him
people.
out the window.
Again, I would refer you to what he's going to say tonight. He will lay that out, speak for himself, and you will hear directly from the president. The American people will insert you will.
All right, so that is from Zeke. Then we jump over to this woman.
Thanks, Karine. You read the president's statement where he said that it's in the country's best interest for him to step aside. Why is it in the country's best interest for him to step aside?
Dementia.
Does it have to do with his health or
it does not have to do, they have nothing to do with his health. Again, the president's going to speak to this directly to the American people tonight in prime time. I know many of you all will be watching it. There's specials going on tonight. I promise you, he will speak to this directly to all of you tonight. But in his letter, he talked about the country, he talked about the party, he talked about the moment that we're in right now. It is not about his health. I can say no, that's not the reason, but hear him out tonight.
And the president denied for weeks, and you denied for weeks, that he was even thinking of stepping aside. What changed from all those days that he had that message to Sunday?
So look, he's going to address this as well this evening. Let him speak for himself. But here's what I will say, and I think we gave a little bit of a TikTok to all of you. He met with a small group of advisors on Saturday evening and with his family and was thinking through how to move forward. Sunday afternoon, he made that decision. It was in a very short period of time, as you can imagine. And then at 1:45, he got on the phone with some of his assistants to the president, some advisors. He let them know. And then minutes later, a letter went out. So it was in a very short period
Minutes
of time
later, the letter went out. So it was already written. It's like, just sign this, Joe, or we'll break your other leg. It's like, no, I don't want to. The guy with the drill's like, he's like, that's it. Actually, he didn't even sign it. It was a digital signature, remember?
The president was able to think about this and make a decision. But I would say again, the president's going to address the American people. You will hear directly from him.
Let's go. It's Doocey time. Let's see what Doocey had to say about this.
How are you doing with all of this, Karine?
You care about how I feel?
Are you going to stick around for a potential President Harris administration?
Oh my goodness. Let me just get through the day. Can I just get through today?
I do have some other questions.
No, I think that's good. I think we're good. How are you you doing? Are you
I'm
good?
doing okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Well, you guys haven't had a press briefing since President Biden dropped out of the race.
The
So,
president hasn't been here. He just got here yesterday, and now I'm here taking your questions.
thank you.
Yeah,
Keep-
and I've
Awkward.
taken about 3 or 4 at this point from you alone.
Well, it would seem that people in this White House knew that President Biden was slipping, and it was hidden from the American people. So who ordered White House officials to cover up a declining president?
I know that that is a narrative that you love
Well,
to.
wait,
No,
in
wait,
10 days,
hold on.
he did a press conference
Hold
at
on,
NATO.
hold on.
I'm in it. There's all these things that I
Hold
need
on.
to finish. And then 10 days later, I'm dropping out.
Okay, you're asking me like 2 multiple questions here. Let me.
Very complicated for her.
First of all, there's been no cover up. Want to be very clear about that. I know that's the narrative that you all want. Wait, no, you can't.
Well,
Okay.
I've been with President Biden for 5
Are
years.
you going to let me answer the question?
Would you at least admit that the debate was not just a bad night?
Wait, can I answer the question?
Yes.
All right, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. To your first question, it is not a cover up. I know that is the narrative that you all want. It is not. I'm going to say this again, and you're going to hear directly from the president. I hope you listen tonight. I think it's going to be incredibly powerful and important. The Oval Office,
Powerful.
presidents, as you know, when they make speeches from the Oval Office, it's because there are important moments that they want to directly make sure that the American people hear from them.
Is he
And it's obviously
resigning?
going to be done in prime time.
We don't
I
really
would
care.
listen
If
to the
he's
president.
quitting and running away like
And
a
then
coward, I
what I
don't
will
really
say
care.
is that it is not easy making a decision that the president made on Sunday. It is just not. Well, have you all reported? It is historic. It is unusual. This
It's
is
pathetic.
not the norm.
Yeah, it's cowardly.
And-
it is not the norm because most other presidents have dignity and integrity and they don't run away like cowards. You should be responsible for the mess you make, right? You always leave the place better than you found it. Joe Biden says he still has work to do. Still a lot of problems. Inflation's coming down. Border's going to get better. Going to do stuff in Gaza, whatever. And then he's just cutting and running away so that the Democrats can run away from his policies. He just dukes all over our whole country and then lets us clean up the mess. Disgusting.
Making a decision like that for someone who has been in public service for 54 years, U.S. Senator for 36,
Gosh.
Vice President to
Finally.
President Obama for
Leaving.
8, and now a first term as president himself. These are not easy decisions to make. They're just not. And so the fact that he was able to make that decision in a selfless way,
You
that's
guys
admirable.
threw him out.
One of the decisions he made, President Biden wants Vice President Harris to be the standard bearer of the party now. Does she still want to get rid of ICE?
You have seen what this administration has been able to do in the past 3.5 years, and they did that with the vice president as a partner in that. And Republicans got in the way. The president went around Republicans and was able to get thousands of personnel at the border. And now we are seeing a 50% drop at the border. And that's because of what this president has done.
As a partner, though, she's been in charge of root causes of migration for years. She has never spoken to the Border Patrol Chief, Jason Owens, or the Border Patrol Chief before him, Raul Ortiz. What should that tell us about her leadership style?
She was supposed to be doing root causes, dealing with diplomacy.
No,
Diplomacy.
it's not.
Wait, that's what her job was supposed to be. Diplomatic. That's the job. And I understand that you're asking these questions, but we should also look at congressional Republicans who got in the way.
Oh, gosh.
Literally got in the way of everything that this president was trying to do to deal with the border. They got in the way. They would say one thing and then they would change their mind.
Any names that came forward that surprised you of Democratic officials in the last week who stabbed President Biden in the back?
I don't have anything else to say. Go ahead, April.
All right, so that's Karine. We don't have any other brain cells to sacrifice listening to that. So we know Karine makes her awkward return to the White House, doesn't answer anything as per usual. Joe Biden's going to come and answer all of our questions. In fact, no, he's not. The speech is going to be dumb and ridiculous. The fact that he's using an Oval Office address to come out here and whine about his heroic decision, it's going to be masturbatory, okay? And we don't indulge in that here. Biden to deliver Oval Office address on his decision not to seek re-election. CNN already has excerpts from this, so probably save yourself the pain. Says he's going to address the nation on Wednesday to explain his shocking decision to drop out. They threw him out. He's no longer the presumptive nominee, and he intends to use this primetime remarks to reveal to the American people how he arrived at his decision. I don't care. Dude's a coward, which he said in a letter on Sunday he thought was in the best interest of his country. They've got excerpts of his upcoming remarks, which he'll read with his marbles and peanut butter in his mouth. Says Biden will say his decision was to pass the torch to a younger generation and the best way to unite our nation. He's going to say, the defense of democracy is more important than any title. I draw strength and find joy in working for the American people, but this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we the people. That's our line. Biden is expected to say. The great thing about America is here. Kings and dictators do not rule, except these little dictators like Joe prosecute their political opponents. What a dumb speech this is going to be. Oval Office addresses have historically been serious moments for presidents to speak to the American people, like we're going to war, not I'm a loser and pathetic and have have no integrity and I'm acting like a coward. It's the second time in just 10 days that he's using the office, I guess. He also talked about the assassination attempt, which nobody watched. Biden, who returned to the White House on Tuesday, is drafting his highly anticipated address. I think people are anticipating it because they think he's going to leave, but doesn't sound like it. They began work on the speech. Harris, who's already got the nomination, new CNN poll says they love this. Democrats are happy about it. So it's going to be a dumb hagiography speech from Joe Biden about why he's doing the right thing. And so we're skipping it. But Karine, awkward return to the White House. Her weak, spineless boss is going to be speaking to America. We are not going to be covering it.